This is the first time in Oscar history that the Best Supporting Actress award has been given to a leading lady. Beyond recognizing Alicia Vikander's exquisite and moving performance in The Danish Girl, it's also because the male lead, Eddie Redmayne, plays two roles in one: Einar, who possesses a male identity, and Lili, who possesses a female identity. By the end of the film, Lili has replaced Einar, becoming a real woman, which also makes Eddie Redmayne essentially the female lead. Yet neither his brave choice to become Lili after immense pain and struggle, nor his passing away after the second gender confirmation surgery in his quest to become a real woman struck me as more profoundly moving and shocking than the moment when Alicia's character, his wife, sent him off for the surgery. On the train, Einar is excited and hopeful. He has gained the only chance to become his true self. On the platform, his wife maintains restrained composure, knowing she is personally sending away the husband she has loved deeply all her life. But precisely because she loves him, she must give him freedom. That composure, forcing a smile to hide her sorrow as she bids farewell to her husband, not only moved the Oscar voters, but deeply touched me as an audience member with her selfless love. Einar and Gerda are a loving artist couple. Einar has risen to prominence painting landscapes of his hometown, but his wife Gerda's portrait paintings go unnoticed, her figures always lacking soul and distinction. Until one day, when the scheduled model cancels, Gerda can only plead with her husband to stand in as a female model. Einar, as always, gently agrees to her seemingly unreasonable request. He puts on women's stockings and high heels, but Gerda is still not satisfied.
No, I need the dress.
No.
I need to see how the hem...
No, Gerda, I'm not putting it on.
Well, I haven't asked you to.
It is this dressing up that completely changes Einar's life. As his wife's hand brushes over the skirt and stockings, Einar's lips quiver slightly, a deeply buried memory within him surging to the surface. He shyly gazes at his own smooth, hairless calves, feeling incredibly excited and nervous. Just as he involuntarily starts stroking the smooth, fine fabric of the skirt hem, the model who stood them up suddenly appears.
Hello there.
Don't worry, my darling.
Seeing Einar's new look, the model delightedly gives him a name.
Lili.
The emergence of the name Lili seems to grant Einar another identity. He is no longer afraid to be a bit more feminine. That evening, as he watched Gerda in her new nightgown, he no longer concealed his fondness for it.
It's pretty.
I might let you borrow it.
I might enjoy that.
Thinking it was just playful banter between spouses. But the next day, when Gerda embraces her husband from behind, she discovers her silk nightgown beneath his shirt. Seeing his pale, slender figure, Gerda, for the first time, kisses him aggressively during intimacy, like a man would. The fluidity of gender gives her inspiration. It seems she has finally touched upon the unique essence deep within her model's soul. Seeing himself depicted with feminine beauty in his wife's painting, Einar feels both fear and joy.
These are good, Gerda.
You think?
Her husband's approval puts Gerda in a playful mood. She treats him like a doll, applying foundation and bright lipstick. But being somewhat clumsy, she either smudges the lipstick or draws the eyeliner crookedly, so Einar simply takes the eyeliner pencil and does it himself. The way he applies the eyeliner in one smooth stroke is just like the countless times he helped Gerda wipe excess lipstick from the corner of her mouth, or the countless times he picked up clothes she had thrown around. Gerda had never noticed Einar's thoughtfulness and gentleness until now, when he finishes his makeup. She sees his exceptional grace, and eagerly pulls him to pose as her model again. And he is bolder this time than the last.
You are forward.
You have no idea.
This gender exploration brings Gerda unprecedented joy and inspiration. She even starts teaching Einar how to walk. As a top student, whether it's the way women shop or how they walk, Einar masters it after seeing it just once. Gerda picks out a suitable wig and a pair of size 40+ high heels, transforming Einar completely into a woman, attending a party together as sisters.
It's Lili.
Lili attracts much attention the very first time she appears in public.
People are looking.
Well, you're a pretty girl.
Because of shyness, Lili blinked frequently. The way he lowered his head made him resemble a delicate flower, or perhaps a butterfly battling against the wind. So fragile it seemed untouchable, as if one needed permission before daring to kiss him. He sat quietly by the wall, studying every movement of the women present until a man named Henrik deliberately sat beside him.
Are you a reporter? A poetess?
Afraid her masculine voice will give her away, Lili flees to the hallway like the wind, but Henrik chases after her. Henrik pretends not to know Lili is a man, lavishly praising her classical elegance. He even takes her to a secluded spot, begging for a chance to kiss her. Lili can only make excuses to refuse.
I know. He might be waiting for us and he wouldn't like this.
Wouldn't he? Lili. Lili. Lili.
Einar's male identity completely dissolved with Henrik's repeated calls of Lili. Unfortunately, Gerda witnessed them kissing. Before she could even react, Lili suddenly started having a nosebleed. Instantly, Gerda could no longer bring herself to scold him, instead tenderly supporting Lili, and quickly leaving under the astonished gazes of the crowd.
This is absurd. We need to stop. You need to stop, Einar.
I am going to try.
Gerda didn't want her husband to leave her, but looking at the painted image of Lili, she couldn't resist painting a nude portrait of him, as she imagined him to be. And this painting received unprecedented, enthusiastic praise from the editor-in-chief for the very first time.
I don't know, there may be a market.
You're taking them.
Well, yes.
A delighted Gerda returned home only to find Einar sitting alone at the dining table dressed in women's clothes, crying softly with restraint.
Are you all right?
The harder Einar tried to force himself to be a man, the more fiercely the personality of Lili rebelled within his body. He examined his body closely in the mirror, feeling a deep aversion to all his male characteristics from the bottom of his heart. But the more he tried to hide them, the more obvious those traits became. He dressed as a woman again to go on a date with Henrik, believing Henrik was the only one who truly accepted his female identity. However, right as they were passionately kissing, Henrik blurted out Einar's name. Lili was deeply hurt. At this moment, she was the woman Lili, yet the person Henrik had liked was the man Einar. Learning that Einar had been secretly meeting Henrik, Gerda's heart shattered instantly. Realizing he had hurt his wife, Einar quickly changed back into men's clothes and firmly stated that Gerda was the only one he loved. It was just that the Lili inside him was uncontrollable. In truth, Lili had appeared long ago in his youth. She had fallen in love with his childhood friend Hans, and Hans had even kissed her, only for his father to discover them and beat them severely. Because of this, for the next 20 years, Einar had no choice but to hide Lili away. Before Gerda could even process this, Einar suddenly collapsed to the ground in agony, his body trembling uncontrollably. Gerda rushed him to the hospital, where Einar also expressed his confusion about his gender. But the doctor brutally diagnosed him with endocrine imbalance, strapped Einar to the operating table, and forcibly attempted to kill the Lili inside him using radiation therapy. This treatment only left his body weak and achieved nothing else.
You hurt Lili.
The doctor angrily told Gerda, "Your husband is insane. If you don't send him to a mental hospital, it will only get worse." Yet at this very moment, Gerda's career reached its peak. Her portraits of Lili sold out instantly, and fine art dealers even arranged an exhibition for her in Paris. Gerda seized the opportunity to take Einar away from Denmark to live in the more open and accepting Paris. And the Lili in her paintings also became increasingly popular.
Is the model here?
No. She stayed behind in Denmark.
Oh, I was so hoping.
Seeing so many people accept his female identity, the female personality within Einar seemed to gain courage. Immersed in joy, Gerda eagerly wanted to celebrate intimately with Einar, but at this moment, his male identity had almost completely vanished within him. Any form of pleasure with someone of the same sex was unbearable to him. In an attempt to awaken his male persona, Einar even secretly went to the red light district of Paris. But when he looked at the soft, pale body of the woman in front of him, he felt no desire, only a thirst for learning. Desperate and helpless, Gerda managed to track down her husband's childhood friend Hans after all. He was the first one to awaken Lili.
We were fooling in the kitchen and he was wearing his grandmother's apron. You know, little boys playing around. He just looked so pretty in it. I had to kiss him. So yes, I kissed Einar. Next thing I know, his father's chasing me out.
By this time, Hans had already achieved success and fame, making a living collecting world-famous paintings. Coincidentally, Einar's landscape paintings were famous enough, so Gerda arranged for Einar to meet Hans under the pretext of purchasing a painting. A flicker of shyness crossed Einar's face. He didn't refuse the meeting, but when Hans arrived, she appeared as Lili. To avoid embarrassment, Gerda had to introduce her as Einar's cousin, Lili. Every glance Lili cast at Hans sparkled, her shy delight like that of a little girl falling in love for the first time. Of course, Hans saw through Lili immediately, but he didn't reveal the truth, instead calmly chatting with Lili about everyday matters. But this wasn't the outcome Gerda wanted. She hoped Einar would become a man again and pick up his paintbrush once more. Lili immediately interrupted the topic of painting. She didn't want her first love Hans to know she was Einar dressed as a woman. It was humiliating. But she didn't know how to become a real woman. She tearfully begged Gerda to let her wear women's pajamas to sleep, but Gerda angrily refused.
It doesn't matter what I wear. It's when I dream. They're Lily's dreams.
This statement made Gerda understand her husband's pain and struggle for the first time, so she allowed Lili to wear women's pajamas to sleep, which also meant she silently accepted her husband becoming Lili. Given this freedom, Lili finally stopped looking miserable. Since becoming Lili, Einar had stopped painting, and their financial burden fell entirely on Gerda alone. To make ends meet, Lili actively modeled for Gerda, injecting a continuous stream of inspiration into her paintings. Their portrait paintings gained remarkable popularity, catapulting Gerda to widespread acclaim. Hans, who came to the exhibition, couldn't help but express his affection for Gerda. He knew her husband was gone, but Gerda didn't see it that way. Although she refused firmly, Gerda was actually in great pain inside. She didn't understand why, even though she supported her husband becoming Lili, she still wanted to share that joy of success with Einar.
I need to talk to my husband. I need to hold my husband. I need him. Can't you just get him? Can you at least try?
I'm sorry.
Two people who deeply loved each other, yet were divided by conflicting gender identities, walked into a dead-end road with no way back. Lili took the first step back, removing all her makeup. But even though her appearance reverted to Einar, her inner self could no longer become a man.
I don't think I can give you what you want.
To resolve their confusion, Lili dressed in a gender-neutral style, somewhere between man and woman, and went to the Paris Library to research various books. Studies on sexual morality, normal and abnormal people. Her eyes immediately lit up when she saw literature on gender confirmation surgery, but very soon, she was violently beaten by passers-by because of this neither male nor female attire. In that era, there was no concept of transgender individuals. All those with gender confusion were collectively labeled as schizophrenic. Not wanting to worry Gerda, the injured Lili visited her childhood friend Hans, appearing as Einar. To help Einar, Hans consulted several doctors. Some doctors believed Einar's schizophrenia required craniotomy surgery. Some said Einar was homosexual, and others thought Einar should be locked away in a psychiatric hospital. Einar managed to escape just before being forcibly taken away. Facing widespread societal discrimination, Einar experienced self-doubt for the first time.
Do you think I'm insane?
You are not insane.
Seeing Einar in such pain, Gerda fell into deep self-blame, feeling that her paintings had harmed Einar. On a friend's recommendation, Gerda took Einar to see Dr. Warnacross. Einar firmly stated that his body and soul did not match. Dr. Warnacross was not surprised. Instead, he proposed an innovative and highly controversial solution for Einar: gender confirmation surgery. The surgery would be performed in 2 stages. The first to remove the male organs, the second to implant female organs. However, this type of surgery had no precedent, was irreversible, and carried an extremely high risk of failure.
It's too dangerous.
It's my only hope.
Mrs. Wegener, I do believe I can help your husband, but he won't be your husband when I've finished.
Einar kissed Gerda goodbye one final time as her husband. Gerda held back her tears to bid him farewell, personally sending her beloved husband towards his disappearance, hoping only that he would find himself. Gerda maintained her blessing smile with visible effort, only shedding tears that belonged to a wife losing her husband in places Einar couldn't see. Upon reaching Germany, Einar took one last look at the identity he had pretended to be for 20 years, then resolutely walked towards a new life. Although Einar insisted on facing the surgery alone, Gerda couldn't help but rush to be with him. Lili, suffering from a high fever and extreme pain, calmed down the moment she saw Gerda. With Gerda by her side, Lili survived the dangerous post-operative period.
But what you drew, I become. You made me beautiful. And now you're making me strong. Such power in you.
Back in Denmark, Lili stopped painting and instead worked as a clerk in a department store as a woman. She greatly enjoyed her new identity. But Gerda began having nightmares, dreaming of Lili getting married, starting a new family, and drifting further and further away from her. Lili clearly stated that she truly wished to get married, and claimed that to become a real woman, she needed to bear a child of her own. To keep Lili, Gerda started urging her to paint landscapes of her hometown again. Lili finally couldn't take it anymore. She wanted Gerda to accept reality, as all of this was irreversible after all.
For goodness sakes, Gerda, Einar is dead. We both have to accept that. You took care of me, but now I have to take care of myself. I have to have a life of my own. And you need to do the same.
Lili's words broke Gerda's heart. It was she who had awakened Lili. She was the one who had transformed her husband. Now she couldn't even accept what he had become. She still loved her husband. No matter how he changed, her love remained the same. Soon, Lili scheduled the second surgery, but Gerda strongly objected once more. Although Gerda still spoke with a wife's tone, this time Lili heard concern and love in her voice, so she switched to a pleading tone.
Gerda, will you come?
Gerda still came before the surgery. Truly loving someone means not letting them face risks alone. Sadly, this time, heaven did not favor Lili again. She developed severe complications, suffering massive bleeding and a persistent high fever. Gerda stayed by her side all night. The next day, Lili finally woke from the high fever, but was extremely weak.
Entirely myself.
Perhaps knowing her time was short, Lili insisted on going to the garden to see the Elbe River.
I dreamed that I was a baby in my mother's arms. She looked down at me and she called me Lili.
After Lili passed away, Gerda, accompanied by Hans, came to Lili's hometown, the marshes of Eisvold. Here she finally saw the 5 trees from Einar's paintings. Amidst the breathtaking scenery, the scarf Lili had given her was blown high into the blue sky by the strong wind. Hans wanted to help Gerda retrieve it, but she said, "Leave it, let it fly," because she saw that Lili had finally broken free from worldly constraints and was flying freely in the sky above her hometown. She had finally become herself, even if the cost was death. At this moment, Gerda finally stopped grieving for the loss of her husband. Both she and he had gained freedom.